Hey everyone, welcome to All Inspired. My name is Amanda if you're new here, and on my channel I like to do all things inspiring, things that I find inspiring, things that I hope will inspire you, all the things. So today we're starting in my office. I'm taking care of this just disastrous area. This is my crafting area. We have a little attachment onto our bedroom that's a little small office, and I just love having this area, but it just became a mess. I don't know, between Christmas, moving, spring, all that, we just threw everything in here and just kind of left it like that. And that's not the look I'm going for. There's my husband. He comes in and gives me a kiss. That is so extremely sweet. You will see later on, you will hear why that is so sweet. I forgot that happened. This was actually filmed a few weeks ago, and we had a lot of stuff go on between then and now, and I will tell you the whole story a little bit later on, but it's been extremely stressful, but a lot. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and tackle this. How many of you guys actually pull everything out of the space and then sort and organize it and then put it back? I do think that has its place, in that there are certain times when you should pull everything out, like in the instance that oh my God, I can't even talk. In the instance that you're painting or that you're rearranging a whole room, I feel like it's the best option to pull it out, have a clean slate. However, with projects like this, I feel like that if you pull everything out and then sort it, it becomes so daunting, so overwhelming. It just makes more sense as you pull the items out to sort them. I am just taking all these bins, I'm putting like items together, and then what I'm going to determine is all the stuff that doesn't go in here, I'm going to set to the side, and then I'm going to figure out if I need all of these bins and if they're in the appropriate sizes, so I can grab bigger bins, smaller bins, whatever I need. So I'm not only pulling the items out, I'm also assessing it at the same time, which makes the most sense to me. Why add in extra steps when you can do it all in one step? And so that's what I do here. And then I just keep all the items sorted. I'm going to use this fantastic little cart right here. I ordered this off of Amazon, and I used to use this when I didn't have an office space, and I would just wheel this into my laundry room, wheel it out, do my crafts at my kitchen table, put all the mess back on here, and then wheel it back in. I've decided that I really loved doing that. Whenever I'm doing Cricut projects, it's so nice to have everything in one place, and it is really nice to have it portable. Since I already have this cart, I'm going to go ahead and load all my Cricut stuff up on it, and then I'm going to be placing it in the closet right next to these built-ins so that I can easily access everything, bring it all over to my desk, do my work, and then I can put it right back in the closet where it's concealed and it doesn't look like a chaotic mess. In these little what are the built-ins, I'm just going to store all our random stuff. There's a ton of stuff in here, but it's mainly for DIY projects that I'll be doing and crafts with the kids. We like to do a lot of Christmas crafts. The kids get bored. They're indoors all the time when it's colder outside. You know, we don't get to go out as much. We do have a YMCA membership, and the kids love going there in the colder months, even in the warm months, but we utilize it a lot more in the colder months. But they also they get bored, and they like to do crafting stuff. That's one of my favorite things that I like to do with the kids. And so I want all of this organized. I want it all put together. I want to know exactly where the items are, and it makes it so much easier. And there's sometimes that you use this stuff and it isn't even for crafting. Like, I took our youngest daughter to the Taylor Swift movie, and they wanted glitter. You know, we didn't do any makeup or anything like that, but they wanted to put glitter on their face and stuff, and so I was totally fine with that. And so I gave them a little container of glitter. It was in here. I already had this organized. I knew exactly where it was. I could tell her, go upstairs in the left cabinet, grab the glitter on the second shelf. I knew exactly where it was. And so that is the key importance when you're decorating, especially if the place are not decorating. I'm ready for Christmas, y'all. It's the key point when you're organizing, especially if you can conceal the items. Make it as functional as possible. You don't have to worry about how aesthetically pleasing it looks, just make it functional. And even if you do have a space where it's open shelving, you can always use bins, put specific things in the bins. The bins will be the decorative item, but however, all of your crafting supplies can be concealed in the bins and it'll still look really nice.
Tonight I'm gonna feel alive, and no, I won't be acting nice. So baby, go and start a fight. I'm in love with the city lights. Look, I'm enough of a big star. I got my girls and I got my cars. Come on here, baby, be a buzz. Do whatever you want. Unlock your shop. We're about to pop. Whatever I do, not up to you. We're gonna shut it up. La la la. Let's stop, won't stop. Unlock your shop. Whatever you do, not up to you. We're gonna shut it up. Today I found out what I want. It's everything I never had. It's been a lifetime feeling sad, feeling sorry for the things that might make you mad. But I'm back, who's back? You ain't even sorry. All you do is make people around you damn worry. I know it might sound just a little bit corny. Now I know where I stand. Don't even have a plan. Huh. Unlock your shop. We're about to pop. Whatever I do, not up to you. We're gonna shut it up. La la la. Let's stop, won't stop. Unlock your shop. Whatever you do, not up to you. We're gonna shut it up. Just like glue, you'll be someone's too. It's time for you. Just do whatever you want. Unlock your shop. We're about to pop. Whatever I do, not up to you.
I needed to give those cabinets a thorough wipe down. Now that I got them all cleaned out, I'm going to move the printer under here. I just like the idea of having it in here concealed off the desk. It gives me more space on the desk that I can work, and so I really like the idea of putting it in here, and there's an outlet in there so it'll function and everything. It's wireless, and so I thought that was the perfect idea to stick it in here. I do end up having to put it on the bottom shelf just because it's not going to work on the top shelf, but that's okay. I think it looks great in there. Now I'm just going around and grabbing just the random bits and pieces, making sure that I have everything organized in the bin that I want it to be in, and making sure that it's the appropriate size. Some of these can really just be downsized. I didn't need them in a huge bin. I just needed it in a smaller bin. Some of the stuff is over crammed in the small bins, and I needed to switch it out and put it in a bigger one. So that's what you see me doing here. I'm just doing my final last organization. And then look at my cat. She is so funny. She's trying to get up there. She's trying to get up on my shelf. I have a plant up there, and they try to get up there and get my plant, and I do not want them up there. So luckily she can't get up there, but now she's all up in my business, What is she playing with? A ribbon or something? Oh my goodness. It's so funny when you watch back the videos because sometimes you just don't notice. You're busy, wrapped up in your own thing, trying to get everything done, and you just don't notice that your cat is wandering around playing. But I'm just minimizing all these bins, getting them compact, taking some of the stuff out of here that really can go downstairs. The kids have their own craft closet that they can access at any time that they want. It has papers, pencils, markers, paints, the whole 9 yards. And so some of this stuff can actually go down there for them to use. It's not even meant to be up here. But a lot of this is just some of the stuff that I'll use for my DIYs and for some of the crafting little kits and projects that we do with the kids. I leave up here because those are more for like holiday events and not for like everyday stuff. So I don't want them pulling out Christmas stuff, in the middle of June. I want to save it for the Christmas time. So I kind of leave it up here so that they don't have access to it 24/7. We do it on those specific holidays. Now that I got all of that sorted out, I know exactly what's going to be going up here. What's most important, I'm going to stick in the front that I know I'm going to be using in the near future. And then the items that I'm like, I still want these, but I know that I don't need them right now, I'm sticking in the back so that I have everything that I really need right now up front. I can easily see it. I can get it. I can send the kids up here to get it. I love the idea of having these bins because we can always grab a few bins, go downstairs to our dining room table, do our projects, and then bring the bins right back up here. It just makes it a lot easier. If you do these little extra things, especially if you have kids, it just makes it easier. You just tell them, hey, stick everything in the bin, and then you bring it up here. It just makes it such a smoother and easier transition. It makes it easier for you to be able to keep all of the items clean and organized. And I'm not saying you're going to, because you saw what this looked like before I started. So it's all process, and it's a matter if you have the discipline to make sure that you put back the items in the place where you got it from, it will stay clean and organized. But it seems like once you start putting that one thing, you just get a little lazy on that one thing. It's like a spiral effect, and it just keeps on going. And then you have a disaster and you have to pull everything out and reorganize it. Sometimes it works out for the best interest because I actually wanted to do this, get my office completely organized for 2 reasons. One was the kids' crafts, and I'm so glad that I have that and will easily be able to come in here and get things done. But also, I am starting up my cleaning business. If you guys have been around for a while, you knew that I had a cleaning company, and in 2020, I stopped due to the pandemic, and I am starting it back up. I'm going to be doing strictly construction cleans, so it'll be homes that are either brand new or homes that were remodeled and they've done a complete construction, and I will go in and do the final touches, make sure that everything, all the dust is out and everything looks beautiful for the homeowner to take over the home. I actually have a contract set up with somebody that I'll be working with, so I'm really excited about that. I'm going to have an employee, which will be fantastic. So I still will be here on YouTube. I still will be making all of these videos. I will also be adding in some construction cleaning content. It is one of the most satisfying. I don't know if I'll do long videos or just shorts on that. I'm not sure yet, but you will be seeing some of that to come in the future. So if that's something you'd like to see, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because then you won't miss any of it. I wanted to get myself completely organized. This is a lot going on. We have the holidays coming up, I have the YouTube channel, and I'm starting back up my cleaning company. A lot of things need to be done all at once. So I made this daily planner for myself just to keep everything organized. I'm writing on it with permanent marker, and then I use alcohol to wipe it all off. If you use the dry erase marker, it'll just smear and rub off, and so the permanent is where it's at. And then, like I said, just some alcohol and a paper towel. You just saw me a few minutes ago. That's how I get it all cleaned off. I'll leave the little sleeves that I'm using linked below. I love the fact that I can write on these and then just wipe it off the next day. I don't have to waste paper every day. I keep the daily planner on the one side, and on the flip side I keep the weekly planner, just so that I have everything nice and organized and ready to go. But here's my little office workstation where I'll need to just have everything that I need, my Post-its, my pens, my markers, my printer. I have everything in this station ready to go. And then over here is all the craft type items. This is not Pinterest perfect, which is fine. That is not what I'm going for. I'm going for functional. I can close these doors. Nobody ever sees it, but I know exactly where everything is. And when we start Christmas crafting with the kids, we have everything. We know where it is, and I don't have to run around trying to figure out where everything is. The next thing I want to work on is this closet. I'm going to build my cleaning supply station in here. I'm going to take a lot of these items that are down below, move them up top. They're just out of the way. There's plenty of space in here. It's just messy right now. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to leave that bottom 2 shelves for all my cleaning supplies. I want to be able to come in here, bring my little cleaning caddy, fill it up with my supplies, and then just go out and work for the week. So I want to make sure I have all my extras in here, my supplies, my equipment, and all that. So you're going to see I'm going to start cleaning some of this out, figuring out where it needs to go, if it even needs to stay in here, and how I'm going to organize all this stuff up top to where I can still get it, because I am quite short. So while I was working on all of this, soon I'm gonna, like, everything's gonna fall apart. Everything I told you guys earlier was really sweet. My husband came in and kissed me. That was like probably a month ago that I filmed that. But what had happened is I was working on this. I realized it's about time to go get the kids. My phone was upstairs charging, and I was on the tablet watching a video, or listening to it really. But I went to go look at my phone. I had all these missed calls. My husband says, meet me at the hospital, and I show up, and they had just done a CT scan on him. He had eaten a piece of steak, and it got stuck in his esophagus, not in like his throat area. Like, your esophagus goes all the way down to your stomach, and there's like an oval shaped muscle that contracts to help get the food into your stomach. That's where it was stuck. And this has happened before with chicken. And actually, the first time I ever cooked a meal for him when we were dating, it was chicken enchiladas, and this happened, and he ended up having to go to the hospital, and they had to surgically remove the piece of chicken. So because this has happened, that's kind of the mindset that I was in. Like, of course I'm on my way to the hospital, but this is more like, you know, they might have to go in and get that piece of chicken out. And I show up, and they had just done the CT scan, and they say they're prepping the helicopter. They're going to airlift him to the nearest hospital, which is very unusual because last time he rode in an ambulance. So I'm really confused, and now it's hitting me that this is quite a bit more serious than it ever had been in the past. And so he went in for emergency surgery. They cut an 8-inch incision where they went in to do the surgery, and it's pretty graphic, so I'm not going to go into details, but there was a piece of steak. There was a 1-inch hole in his esophagus that they had to repair, and he was in the ICU for a few days, and then he was in the hospital for a week. So it was way more extensive than we thought. He is recovering. We are home now. That's why I've been MIA from YouTube. It's been a lot. He's needed a lot of care and a lot of my attention, and I just wasn't able to come back to this. I needed to make sure that he was okay before I came back to YouTube. So I'm gonna do a lot of Christmas content, and you're gonna see me pushing out a lot more videos. But that's what's been going on with us recently. He's on his way to recovery. Hopefully in a few weeks he can return back to work, and next week he'll be going back to the doctor and be doing some physical therapy to get him back in shape. But he's doing much, much better, and we're so grateful that he's okay. And thank you so much for everyone for your prayers and your well wishes. It was so appreciated. But I got my workstation ready to go now.